So this is 4 way too early bold predictions for the Cincinnati Bengals in the 2023 NFL season. Now, I want to start off actually get my bold predictions before you see this website. Number one bold prediction: Cincinnati will beat the San Francisco 49ers in next year's Super Bowl. Number one bold prediction. Number two bold prediction: Cincinnati will win the AFC by a good margin. Meaning, like, they'll go 14-3, and then the next team on the list will be like 12 and something. You know? So they'll win by a couple games. It won't be just like last game of the season, you win and you end type scenario, right? No. They're going to win that. Number three bold prediction: Cincinnati will win the AFC North by week 14. And my number four bold prediction: Cincinnati will make a big trade sometime next year. Sometime by the trade deadline. They're going to make a big trade. My four bold predictions. Tell me down below your four bold predictions for this upcoming year. So we got Christopher here who made his article. Let's go ahead and react to it. So starting off right away, the first bold prediction. From 0 to 3 All-Pro selections. Many people, not just Bengals fans, were surprised when the regular season was over and done with Cincinnati finishing with a stellar 12-4 record after starting 0-2. Not a single Bengal was named to either All-Pro team. Some received votes, including Burrow, Chase, Pratt, and very strangely, Jonah Williams, among others. But none of them actually made it to either the first or second team. Allegations of snubbing were thrown around, but once the playoffs got underway, it was quickly forgotten. However, it isn't in the past. It's about the future. And Apollo must have hit me with the gift of prophecy because I see 3 Bengals becoming an all-pro team in 2023-2024 season concludes. I think that's very possible. I really do. Jamar Chase, Burrow, 2 guys right there, right? I think Michael Mayer could also be one. No, I'm just kidding. Because obviously Tank Bixley is going to be one. That's 3 right there, right? Then, possibly Jermaine Pratt. Cheeto, fully healthy, 100% back, he could be one. Hendrickson, Hubbard, Orlando Brown. I mean, you could list a whole entire list of players. This roster is absolutely freaking roided out. This roster is amazing. There's so many players who could get it this year, let alone just 3. I could see it being 6 or 7, in all honesty. All right, next one on the list. A Defensive Player of the Year contender emerges. In 1971, the National Football League introduced the Defensive Player of the Year award, with its first recipient being D-tackle Alan Page of the Minnesota Vikings. And in the years since, there hasn't been a single Bengal who has won the Defensive Player of the Year. Not even arguably the best defensive player in franchise history in Ken Riley, who has been around since the award was introduced, starting his professional career in 1970. The entire sort of plays in the last one as if you finish as a finalist for the Defensive Player of the Year, you're probably made at least the Pro Bowl, All-Pro second team. Any of these 4 I mentioned above, I think can at least contend for the award, and Hubbard is in there as well. Wait, hold up. He didn't mention any of the 4. After losing the best safety duo. So, who could be Defensive Player of the Year right now on the Cincinnati Bengals, right? Me personally, I'd say, if I'm choosing any defensive player, I say Cheeto. I'm saying Cheeto. Cheeto comes back fully healthy, ready to play, ready to emerge, ready to be amazing. Cheeto. Number 2, I'm saying is Cam Taylor-Britt. I think those 2 guys, 1A, 1B, could be Defensive Player of the Year. Other than that, maybe Jermaine Pratt, Logan Wilson, very possible. And also, I don't know why I forgot Logan Wilson when I talk about all pros. I don't know why I did not bring up freaking Logan Wilson. Anyway, though, Hendrickson, Hubbard. I don't know. I don't know who would win it, to be honest, if there was Defensive Player of the Year there. Because, again, you got to keep in mind that, since he's still, again, I said this a million times, Ravens are somewhat in that same ballpark range, not as much. But the NFL still hates Cincinnati. They hate them. They hate them. They hate them. And they're going to always be against them. So, for Cincy to win it, they have to really just have the NFL can't really rig it or control it in any way. But Dax Hill, maybe if Dax Hill absolutely takes off and becomes a monster. And again, like I said, if you do draft a rookie, obviously he would win Defensive Player of the Year, so he wouldn't run Defensive Player of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year. He wouldn't win Defensive Player of the Year. Just the Rookie Award. Maybe big trade. Let's look at number 3. Whoever is back there cracks 1,000 yards rushing. So whether that is Ezekiel Elliott, Joe Mixon, Tank Bigsley, Tank, or Tank. And, what if, I don't know, possibly they got Tank. They will get 1,000 yards rushing. I 1,000% believe this. Especially if you get Zeke Elliott on a incentive-based contract that says if he gets 1,000 yards, he gets an extra $1 million. I could easily see him, going all out trying to get that 1,000, yard season. So very, very, very good chance they're going to get 1,000 yards, especially with the improved offensive line now, right? You really improved the offensive line. Then you go get a big running back in the draft like Tank. I don't know if I mentioned Tank in this video, but I probably should have mentioned Tank at least once. And then you go ahead and get, obviously you have Joe Mixon, maybe bring in Zeke, easily get 1,000. Easily get 1,000. The final bold prediction. Tyler Boyd gets shipped out mid-season. Oh, this is interesting because Tyler Boyd is on his contract year. So, him getting shipped out and leaving is definitely a chance. They save money on cap space if they do release or trade him. $8.8 million. So it is very possible they end up trading him or releasing him. Now, here's how only way I see this happening is if they draft a guy, let's say a receiver in the 5th or 6th round, and he ends up blossoming to becoming a solid number 3 receiver. That's the only real way I see them getting rid of Tyler, is if that happened. If that happened, it's very possible they trade or cut Tyler Boyd. Let's say they get a guy in the 5th, 6th round, throughout the first 5 games of the season, this guy has like 400 yards and like 3 touchdowns, and he's having a really phenomenal rookie season, right? And he became a really big, absolute monster for you guys. Then it's possible that he gets shipped out. It's not 100%, but in my head, I could see the logic of, yeah, okay, maybe, just maybe, it could happen. But again, like I said, we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, and what are your 4 bold predictions? I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.